Today we're doing something a little bit different. I just wanted to kind of bring you in. I know I've done a lot of behind the scenes on developing products that I actually release, but I thought it'd be fun to show you some products that I don't release or haven't released or have no plans to release. And so that's what we're going to do in this video, just something for fun, just show you things that I work on behind the scenes, and then explain to you why I didn't end up going through with those products or don't plan to, at least at the time of this recording. So the first one is this I had made in this pink color. This is like a Koch Chemie Protector Wax or Wet Coat by Gion or whatever, however you say it. It's a foam on, rinse off, makes the water bead, right? So it's 1 ounce in a foam cannon. I'll show you, we'll take it outside after I wash the car and we'll show you how it foams. But I thought this pink color would be really cool. The idea that I had behind this was just, again, kind of a simple, kind of easy product that like mobile detailers could use or anyone can do to just kind of foam on their car after they washed it. It makes the water bead, rinse it, and you're probably getting like, I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks worth of water beading or paint protection. It could go on all surfaces. I wanted it to not streak, and I'll tell you why I ended up not going with it, at least as of yet. And then the second product is an upgrade to Toughest Shell. Again, this is Toughest Shell with graphene, and you can see the graphene in the bottle there, which is kind of giving it away as to why I didn't end up launching this. The main reason being is I didn't see any real added benefit compared to the normal Toughest Shell, and I didn't like how you could see the graphene settle, even though when you shake it, it does mix in and you can't see it really anymore, but actually you can, and there's still floaties in there, which is exactly why I didn't end up launching a graphene Toughest Shell, along with the other things like, I'm not sure graphene really has a place in detailing, not quite like ceramics did. And I thought it felt a little more gimmicky, and my brand isn't for the gimmicks. It's for products that actually work and deliver results. But we're also going to show the graphene-infused Toughest Shell. I released a podcast about this and already got some feedback of people being like, can you please release it? I really want it. And so again, I have no plans, no intent to release either one of these products. This is strictly just for fun. This is to show what I do for fun, actually. And so, yeah, so let's take these outside. Let's wash the car. Let's apply them. I'll walk you through them again a little bit, and we'll just kind of see what it is. But really, we're just having fun. So the whole idea was to use a highly concentrated formula, and that's what I wanted. So runny like I like it. It's 1 ounce per 32 ounces of a foam cannon. So I'll just kind of measure that out right about there. So again, 1 ounce in a foam cannon, very little product. And I've talked about this before, but it bears repeating, that this technology of this like foam on, rinse off is not new technology, maybe to the detailing space, but not in the car appearance space at all. It comes from the tunnel washing industry. And what tunnel washers need to do is, as they're moving your car through the tunnel, they need to make water bead up so that when you make it to the blow drying stage, actually, I want to keep this on. When your car makes it to the blow drying stage, it dries faster because the water has beaded up. So the detailing space borrowed that technology and called it something else, of course, right? And then called it something else and then tried to make it a new technology, right? So I'll show you, we just cleaned the car, and I'll show you that on the hood is completely flat. So ultimately why I didn't end up going with this product is I just didn't think it performed well. But like Gion, whatever, that with their wet coat, it streaks windows really bad, it streaks paint really bad. You usually have to work one panel at a time. And so I wanted something that you could foam on the whole car. So, and it looks pretty cool in the foam cannon, huh? So I like that color. So look at the hood, it's completely flat. Sorry, Bryant, for that. But it's completely flat. There's no water beading at all. So let's check the foaming capability of the product. We'll let it dwell a little bit at a time, and then we'll rinse it off and see how the water behavior is. But the hood is pretty flat as of now. So let's start foaming it up. And kind of like with all these, this is where I started, right? Like this foam is very underwhelming, to say the least. Now you're not foaming the car to clean it, you're foaming to add protection, right? So I understand that. It's also a very warm day today. I guess the focus will kind of be on this hood area.
But so you can see the first thing when I'm using this product, I'm like, the foam's lacking, right? This is not that exciting a foam. So could we adjust it? Could we make it thicker foam? Maybe. But it's so far, and I'm just gonna do this whole car, so far it's not that awesome. However, if you think about it from a mobile detailer's perspective, or someone who's just trying to add an add-on service or a quick service, that's why I wanted it to foam, because you could apply this to a whole entire car, including the rims and everything, in what, a minute? So a very quick way to make water bead on the car without streaking. And that's what I wanted. I didn't want the product to streak. And so there. Used almost a full foam cannon. Definitely over applied it, but that's par for my course, right? Over application. And so things I'm looking for: how does it work in direct sun? How does it rinse off? Foaming was the first part. Obviously the color looked cool. I could add a scent. I didn't add a scent, but as it's drying, you wouldn't want to do this with say, wet coat or most of the other spray and rinse products, because all this would be just a total nightmare of streaks. If you saw this using Geon wet coat, you'd be freaking out because it just streaks so bad, and then you're chasing your streaks. It's just a bad day. So I wanted something that was better than that. So let's rinse it now that it's on there. As you can see, the water, where it wasn't really beading before on the glass, is working really well on the glass. Same with on the paint. When I direct the nozzle down here, it's definitely better than what it was, right? Rinse it up top. And truth be told, this is actually a product that, though it's not ready for launch, it is a product that I do have my eyes very closely on. I have a full marketing idea behind it. But look up here. I don't know if we had B-roll of this up here before, but the glass was completely flat on the roof of the car, and it is beading water. So this is, important winter. I think winter sometimes, if you're looking for quick winter protection, just to kind of re-up your ceramic coating, that's kind of the things I've been looking at. Let's look at the front windshield. Working really well on glass. And again, that's at 1 ounce. I guess I could test it with adding 2 ounces, but that looks really, really good on glass. Let's see how it looks on the hood. The wind is coming this way, so I don't know if you want to, but I guess I could shoot it from that. I don't know. So as before, the water was totally flat on the hood, and you could see with just foaming that, pretty cool, right? So that's just something I've been playing with. This is a little bit more, probably if I had to say, like, what is a more viable product? Would it be the graphene toughest shell or this rinse wax? I don't know what you even call it. It'd probably be this product. I just want to see the water beading a little bit better. But again, when we talk about better water beading, we're talking about potentially adding a lot of streaks. And so would that amount of water beading be sufficient remains the question, but the water is getting off the surface very quickly. And I'll even dry this side after I finish rinsing it off the whole entire car. I'll dry the windows and show you how it's not streaking. But look at that. I mean, this panel was not beading water at all. And look at how it's making the water bead. Same with the hood as well. It was totally flat. You probably couldn't even see it. And now the water is beading incredibly well. And what's cool is where this works in the whole ecosystem of the Jimbo's detailing line is this car was thrashed. I mean, you saw how dirty it was before. And I did do a double foam, so I did foam it twice. But I have not even touched this car. So where kind of my mind goes and for the whole ecosystem of my brand is like, if we could go from cleaning a really dirty car that has flat, no water behavior at all, to foaming it with the super soaper to clean it really good, and then adding protection with like this pink spray, foam, wax, whatever you want to call it, that actually makes a pretty compelling argument. I do sound like I'm kind of selling myself on it, and the intent was not, these aren't for sale yet, so I'm just having fun. But. So if we focus on this glass, again, I did not touch it, I did not do anything. It was really, really dirty, but what we're not seeing that you do see from a lot of these rinse waxes, from a lot of these foaming and then rinse products, is streaking. So you would see tons and tons and tons of streaks on this glass. And I'm focused on the glass right now because the white is really hard to see in the sun and where we're at, but again, we're outside doing this as well. But you would have tons and tons of streaking on a part like of glass like this, and then what happens is you would almost have to strip the glass completely to get rid of those streaks, which then strips the protection that you just laid down. So it's very important to me that it wouldn't streak on the glass for that reason. You're trying to add the water protection or water beading activity, not, you know, not have to do it and then strip it right away, right? Because it's streaking. Same with the windshield, a little bit of dirt still, but. And then watch the hood. And this goes without saying, this hood needs to be clayed. It needs to be decontaminated. So this is on top of, this is kind of the test.